So there's another popular, let's say, belief. I'm not sure belief is the right word, but there's a popular common knowledge, somewhat common knowledge, that it takes 10,000 hours of practice,
Oh yeah,
deliberate practice, to achieve mastery. And I've heard you describe this as a myth. So
this
could
wasn't
you
an
elaborate on your critiques?
This wasn't an IO psychologist. I think he was a social psychologist. I met him many years ago in Greece at a conference. Talked to him because I knew something about this. So here's the phony baloney aspect. If you want to do an experiment on number of hours as a cause of success, you have to pick a random sample, right? And then you expose all those people to equal training. That's not the way they did that. They took people who are already violinists, and they found out the top violinists had spent approximately 10,000 hours, as though that was a sufficient condition to be an expert. But they didn't deal with the dropouts, because how many people who study the violin can't do it or wouldn't even try, like me, because they're tone deaf? It was very misleading. And I said, I asked the guy, are you telling me anyone who spent 2,000 hours can be world-class? Thinking I was joking. Oh, he said, yes.
Okay.
It's bullshit. It's
right.
Total bullshit. So now, why would a person say that? It's a political motive. Can you guess why?
Oh yeah, because everyone can then be equal, right? As long as you put in the work, you can
Everyone
achieve.
can be equal. And how dare you claim people are born with different talents, which they are. So everyone can be equal. It's just a matter of getting a good coach and spending a lot of time. So it's just a political motive. So, and I'll tell you another story. I had a colleague who I talked to about this, and he thought it was bullshit too. And I said, do you know anything more about this? He said, yeah. And there was data. I said, well, where's the data? So he wrote this guy that did the famous work. And the guy said, the data is in a computer in Germany. Okay, so what's university? University Dusseldorf or whatever. So we wrote them, said, could we see the raw data? Said, we're so sorry, we can't find it anymore. So mumbo jumbo, they probably were data, but we don't even trust that data. So the point is, here's the point with effort, here's the axiom. With effort, anyone can improve on anything up to a point. Up to a point. You know, even the dumbest math person can get better at math up to a point and then reach a limit. So everyone reaches a ceiling. Okay. Take tennis. I'm a tennis player. I had to retire because of my heart condition. I took tennis lessons for 40 years. I was a mediocre club player. Started out as a below mediocre with many, many lessons and hours of play. Enough as mediocre. And then I became a mediocre seniors player. Now, that's a lot different than Nadal and that group who were noticed at a young age as being very gifted. And when they work hard, they'll get to a higher level. So that's the point. They'll get to a higher level. So everyone can improve, but everyone doesn't get to the same place. And that really makes egalitarians mad. Same with intelligence. It's mostly genetic. But anyone who uses their intelligence can learn, but everyone doesn't learn as well as everyone else. I don't like that. That's political.
So the 10,000 hour idea, it was popularized by Malcolm Gladwell.
He got it from the other guy.
Yes.
Gladwell is a popularizer of other people's work.
Yes, exactly.
He does that. He was popularizing the subconscious as omniscient. I don't know if you read that about the fireman knowing when to go into the burning building and not, because it was a subconscious motive that hindered them. He's done a lot of stuff like that. But he doesn't know the actual research. And
Right.
the fireman thing was not really honest, because firemen have a store of conscious knowledge they acquire from learning. So it's conscious and subconscious together, which work. And he had to retract it. I think in the last chapter of that book, he had to, I don't want to say conscious knowledge isn't relevant to life. That's what he was implying. So you got to watch Gladwell. He's a very good writer, very dramatic writer, but he popularizes what other people write. He's not a scientific expert.
Right. Yeah. I read Gladwell's books before I got into objectivism. So I have a different, like, what I remember at the time was I had a positive view of the books, but I haven't gone back to like do this kind of analysis on them yet.
It's fun reading because he's a good writer.
Yeah, that for sure. Yeah. And part of his argument is that he spent 10,000 hours working as a writer for the New York Times before he began. Yeah.